Hey, here we go. Here we go. So, this should be the very first Distraint 2 speedrun registered on speedrun.com, because there's a few runs on YouTube, there are like 2 of them. But it should be the first run registered on speedrun.com. I've made a run to submit the game, but the speedruns I could find on YouTube and the timer when Price exits his apartment, and I stopped it on the shotgun sound, so I decided to do it again, to register the run again, just to stay consistent with the already existing run, so that when they will find out that it now has a speedrun.com page, they can already publish their existing run. So it should be okay. Since it's the first run that will be registered in speedrun.com, I'll try to explain as much as I can and as much as I know, because I haven't made a lot of run of the game. Like, I've made like 2 or 3 entire runs, so yeah, not that much, and I'm sure it'll still be a lot of mistakes. But I'll try to explain as much as possible. But for example, here I still don't know exactly what triggers the reason. I don't know if it's time or if it's position. But I think it's time, because it's never the same position actually. So now we talk with reason. Now appears the first Distraint apartment in the first game, but here we just need to go to the third door to activate the dialogue, and then it triggers the next event. The next event now is just time. We just need to wait for the door to open. So we just wait here, and after that it will be the first time I split. I made my split depending on the guide I found, because I like to have multiple splits to see where I lost time or something. But of course, you can do the splits you want. So now here the first thing we need to do is to take the rusty pipe. There'll be a bit of backtracking for this first puzzle. Okay. I still have a bit of difficulties with the tutorial, but it went a bit better, I guess. Okay, so it's a bit of that backtracking here, because we use the rusty pipe on the chimney. Then we take the washer dial, and then we need to put the washer dial on the washing machine, take what's inside and put it on the chimney again. So a bit of backtracking. Here we go. Should have run here, I forgot. So yeah, it's the appearance of the first appearance of the fierce creature. So now we just have to wait for the fierce creature to pass us. I should have changed the luminosity, I don't see shit. But well, anyway. Now we just spam left, because it is the thing that makes us exit the closet. key, we equip the key, then we try to open the door. And here we go. Now we go left. Till we see grid. To grid. I still need, for that part actually, you need to go fully right and then go back. But I think it is always like most of the triggers. There's a point when you can go back and into a trigger grid. But I still don't know that trigger correctly yet. But it will be something like that. Go to the entrance, I split here, and the ring appears. We make it fall with a rusty pipe. You can actually enter the inventory during the animation. It's one of the few instances where you can do that, and it's actually helpful because you don't lose a lot of time for here. We now need to go to the puzzle room in order to. To do that puzzle. That was pretty bad. Okay, this was better. To go back to examine the extinguished fireplace, and we are almost done with the prologue. Now the thing is, you have to the fierce creature position, as you can see, will trigger a few dialogues, and it's after the third dialogue that the fierce creature must touch you to end the prologue. The thing is, it's mostly... Normally you should be cornered in a casual playthrough, say that you can't go right anymore. Okay, forgot. You can't go right anymore, so... And the fierce creature will reach you and will touch you, but... Since it is the touch that triggers it and not a specific position, like for example the elephant in the first Distraint, you can just run to it until it's done. And here it is a trigger, again, position trigger. Just, you need to walk to the right, but there's a trigger when you go back left that will trigger the fierce dialogue. So just at the point when you feel like you passed that trigger, it's mostly around the entrance of the room. You're good to go back. At the moment we're good, I think. Yeah, that's nice. I think, as I say, it's mostly a 55-minute run. But I think if you do extremely well, you can reach sub 50. I don't think it will be possible for me, because I don't know the run extremely well. And I think, since there's a lot... The game actually, it doesn't look like it, but it actually changed a lot since the first episode. So I think there's a lot of small optimization you can do to be able to reach 50 minutes. And here. But again, I think it is a very interesting game to run actually. I think it's more interesting to run the second one or the first one. It's actually a longer run, so if you wanna try a long run but not that long, it can be nice. And he has way more small optimizations than the first one. Okay, so if I remember correctly after that... Okay, it is the trickster after. That is nice. So now we are on tricking the trickster, the technically third part of the first chapter. It is the part where you need to trick Mr. Blackwell, which is that small old guy. So for that we need to go to room 24 to take a puzzle, to give it to Mr. Blackwell, to distract him, in order to go to his room 22, in order to see why he's winning all the time. Oh fuck, that is my bad. I lost quite a time here. Not a lot, but as you can see, it's kind of mistakes that can easily happen. Like you spam E too much and Metal Gear Solid vibes. Okay, so now, don't worry, nothing happens. Now we just spam left in order to exit the moment we can. Reveal what's on the safe. And then we are almost good to go, because now we need to go to the room 26 to trigger a memory to be able, and that is the only thing that will trigger the end of Blackwell's puzzle, because if we try to take the puzzle from him before, it will say that it's not finished yet. Okay, well, there's nothing more to say, there's nothing that changed drastically between the casual playthrough and the speedrun video. It's just following the triggers. So now we just go to the room 24, we give it the puzzle back, and then it will trigger the end of that part. Okay, we're almost there. now people discover it was cheating, and that couple doesn't really like that. I don't like it at all. But seriously, if you see that someone's cheating, don't kill him. That's not nice. Okay, so now we reach the last part of the first chapter. And the first thing is actually pretty strange because we need to get a film reel in order to advance. But the thing is, it's anywhere. It's anywhere. It's nowhere. You can't find it technically. But the thing is, on a casual playthrough, you will try every door and look everywhere in order to see what you need to do in order to advance, and you'll be like, oh, but I can't find it. But the thing is, the game waits you to look in every room. The game waits that you explored every room, which is the 3 rooms that constitute that part of the level, in order, as you can see, to trigger the apparition of reason. And that, after the dialogue with reason, we will able to see the film reel. So yeah, you just need to know that you need to go through the 3 rooms, and the quickest is, I think the quickest is just that cycle there. So now that we have the film reel, we go to the cutting desk with the film reel, and we reorder the images. It's always the same order, and I still can't do it correctly. I put it on the machine to prepare it, and it will trigger the apparition of comfort. Comfort that will give us okay, this time I didn't forget. Comfort that will give us an item that is required to advance, because we need the film reel, and a bottle cap that will be used as a lens to project the film. A small detail here, now with the new inventory system, you can use every item on every person. You can interact with an item on a person, but the thing is, most of the time it will make you lose time, because as you can see, I changed the inventory to empty, and if I didn't do that, I will just try to interact with comfort with the film reel, and it's just a time loss. A small one, but it is a smart one. It is a time loss. So now we are good, we will go through that door, we will do the dialogue we will meet at the last agony, and after the dialogue is gone, we are going to split, and it will be the end of the first chapter. Doesn't look like a friendly guy, isn't he? So we aren't having a good time, and when the screen turns black, it will be the end of the first chapter. Here we go. So the game is split into 5 parts, 5 great parts, with 3 main chapters, a prologue and an epilogue. Each chapter is technically separated by those kind of cinematics. Oh fuck, I lost a bit of time here. It's okay. And most of the chapters start with Hope's domain, and Hope's domain is a boring part. Let's be honest, because you don't have much to do. For example, here we need to fish, and in order to fish, We go to the left, we wait for the dog to bark 2 times, twice, and each time he barks, we fish. And here I'm pretty lucky, I guess. But the thing is, most of the time, the fish frequency is pretty much random, and sometimes you can wait really a small amount of time, just like here, and sometimes you have to wait a bit more, and you can have a time loss on that part because of that. But that part is basically it. You need to fish. You technically need to fish twice, trigger the last dialogue with your wife, and then night will fall. You can go back left. And we are good. Okay. This one's just pretty quick, I think. Which is cool. I will try something here. Because I strongly think that the trigger of the last dialogue is position related, but I don't know that trigger correctly. So that's where I will lose a lot of time actually. Okay, that was pretty bad. The thing is, I still don't know exactly what... Oh, okay, it is time related. Now I know. But since it is time related... Oh. Maybe it should be best if I be closer. Closer to the house, because here I'm wasting a lot of time to going back. But the thing is, once I just went directly to the house and I waited near the house and the phone never triggered, so it might be time related and position related. So I just hope other people will try to speedrun, so that is a thing that we can break down. But here I lost a lot of time. I technically lost 8 seconds, which is a lot. The first dialogue with a psychologist. Now that the part will be to... we need to enter a dimension. And for that we have to resolve a puzzle. But you will see when we will reach that puzzle that something's missing. So here we passed through a safe. We need to find the code of that safe. Okay, good. So now we trigger a new memory that will allow us to find the code for the safe and have a new piece and to be able to enter dimension. We're almost there. I lost a bit of time, I wasn't paying attention. Come on. Every time fierce creatures pass us by, we can use the doors. And it can be a bit annoying sometimes. But we're good. We're good, yeah. We can now enter the dimension. And we cut here. Now we need to go to the doorway, we need to go to that door, and we needed to take the bulb. We're gonna use that small guy quite a lot of time. Now we need to go to another room that contains a lampstand in order to going forward. Come on. Try to be in the middle of the doorway. To not have an animation. Past the clock. We go here. We put the lamp on the lampstand. Put the bulb on the lampstand, sorry. Now we have a wall we go through. And now we go to the right and we interact with that desk. In that desk there's a small puzzle. We need to rotate the pieces a given number of time. Wasn't the best, but I think it's okay. Now that we're done, it will give us an object, which is the pendulum. And the pendulum, we can use it on the clock that we went through. Here's a pretty scary guy, but it doesn't do anything. You just need to wait for him to disappear. But don't worry, we will meet him a bit later. Fuck. Sorry, it's a bit of a time loss, but it's okay. We now go back, we put the pendulum on the clock, we now advance, it will trigger a small animation that will reveal a new door. We'll go through that door. We'll use the lamp here, take the fuse because we'll need it later. Oh shit. It's actually okay. Ah, every time. See, I used the lamp on him and I couldn't go through. It's a bit of a time loss and I'm a bit sad, but... Once again, we have a fear creature. We need to just hide in a closet. You can take the time that you want. On the closet, sorry. I will actually this time wait that is the fierce creature effect disappear. Mainly because those dudes that are blocking the door appears because of him. And the thing is, they need to be out of our sight to disappear. So here I didn't wait enough, so I'll just go back here and wait, and we're good. So now we need to go to the stairs. We need to go to the stairs to use the lamp bulb here. It's gonna reveal where we can use the fuse. It will open the attic. And another mirror. We split here. Now it's another memory, but this time we need to interact a bit. need to hide Mr. Snooty, the elephant, in here and say to our mom, we are good to go. So now we exit the attic, we take the stairs again, and this time we go to the bathroom. This time we don't need to take the bowl with us. So here we go. We take the stairs again, and now we go outside. We fully go right, take that door, and we are going to put Mr. Snooty in the altar. I'm going to split when I enter the altar. I'm losing a lot of time in the split because on my PB I split the previous one a bit late. But it's okay. Now we are running to enter here. So it's just a succession of dialogue here to end the second chapter. And here it is. We are lost. We have lost here. You just talk to loss, and at the end of this dialogue we are going to split. And then we'll be able to enter the third chapter, Forgiveness. And again, starting with an Hope's Domain, and just a succession of triggers. A lot of the game is about just passing dialogue, so nothing much to say, nothing much to do. Just passing dialogues. Here we go. Third chapter. The Hope's Domain. Once again. Here we have two triggers to do. The first one is just to go to the beer barrel, as Charlie told us, proposed us, but the thing is we now need to wait for Charlie in order to activate it. So now we'll go through a pretty long dialogue once again, and then we need to go left and talk to the dog and go right again, and we'll be almost done. We're good. This time we don't have to wait for him to go entirely to the left, we just have to talk to the dog. Go back here, Reason will appear, we will talk to Reason, and we will be able to continue. I think it's somewhere like here, yeah. I lost a bit of time because I wasn't spamming, but yeah, it was somewhere like here. Somewhere. Okay, we're good. Another trigger, we wait for Charlie to come to us, this time we can't move. Let's go through the dialogue. And then we continue left. And this is the last trigger. Ah, the ladder. I forgot. So yeah, we are good. Again, he give you an object, the ladder. It will be in your inventory, so you need to remove it in order to talk to the girl. And it is a time loss that is easily avoidable, but it's just you need to remember it. It's not as easy as it sounds. Remembering is hard. Okay, now we are going to go in. A small thing, as you can see, sometimes he's just going to talk to himself, and he walks when he does it. So you need to be pretty reactive in order to be ready to pass the dialogue as quick as possible, so you can run as long as possible. I'm gonna split here. Okay, so this is the TV puzzle, and we need to do 3 of them in order to advance and finish the chapter. Here it is pretty interesting because we need to go to the door blocked with a keypad, but we don't know the code. For this, we need to enter that door after taking the crank in the wheelchair in order to display the code. But since we already know the code, we don't have to do all of this. I don't know where my shift key is. Again. Okay, so we are almost good to go. Okay. Again, meeting with the first creature, but this time it is a bit different. It will not stop in front of the closet, so the moment it will pass through us, we can exit the closet and go to the double door and just wait for the event to pass so we can go through the door. So now that, as you can see, we activated the reception engine on the engine room, so we will be able to go to the reception and do a small puzzle, take an item, and we will be able to advance. So yeah, the fact that you know the keypad is actually, there's not a lot of instances when you can just pass an entire section of the game where you know when you know the answer, but you have an instance here and it's actually quite nice because you get a lot of time. So now you need to take the syringe on the right and do that puzzle on the left. So the thing is, when we do that puzzle, the fierce creature will come and we can go out. So while it blocks us, we can just take the syringe. A bit of a small time save. So the engine is used to lift that thing here, but there's a guy that's blocking our path now. Because the thing is, we need to go to this room to use the syringe like that, and it will wake up inspiration that will give us the solution for the motor puzzle. But the game requires you to have that dialogue with inspiration in order to advance. So it is the way of the game to say fuck off, go wake up inspiration, and then we'll be able to enter. As you can see, you can pass a part of the game with the keypad if you know the keypad, but here you really need to do what the game intends you to do before advancing, even if you know the answer already. So now we just wait for the inspiration to play. I actually like that song. So when we'll be done, we'll not go to the bar door directly. We will go to the engine room again in order to activate the basement. Because the thing is, we need to go to that door, to that previously blocked door, and then we need to activate the basement in order to go to the basement, because behind that door we have the second TV, and on the basement we have the third TV. But since it's right next to us, it's just quicker to activate the basement already. Oh fuck. We're almost done. Nice, we are good to go. Oof, oh, almost missed it. Okay, we are good. Now the second bar is lifted and the basement is activated. We can go to the basement, do the third TV, and we are good. We're almost there. We're almost there, but we still have the fierce creature that's gonna appear. We need to hide in the closet. Again. And again, we can wait for him to pass us and we'll be able to enter without problems. And we are actually almost done with the run. You can see that the PB is 51 minutes. We are at 42. So yeah, less than 10 minutes remaining because the moment... I don't see shit. Can I go? I think I can go. I can go. That was a pretty nice timing, I must admit. So now we meet Miss Goodwin. No, it's forgiveness. The image Price gave to forgiveness. So now we go through the dialogue with forgiveness and we will be done with the third chapter. Normally I split before that dialogue, but this time we will go through that dialogue and I will split after. It's okay. So now we are at the epilogue, and the epilogue is a bit, I must say, a bit boring because it's only you go through dialogues again and again. Oh, maybe as you can see, you maybe are thinking, yeah, why are you using Chinese? I am not Chinese. I don't understand. I don't understand a shit about Chinese. But you might be telling yourself, why are you using Chinese when you can just pass the dialogues? It's as another language is as quick. It's mostly because of the first cutscene. If you remember, at the beginning of the game, we have one cutscene that you can't pass. You can't pass that cutscene. And the thing is, the way that cutscene is displayed, it is different from the way dialogues are handled normally. We need to see the dialogues, the cutscene is displayed character by character. You need to go through every character of the cutscene. But the thing is, Chinese has less characters in general. So we use Chinese mostly to go quicker during that cutscene, and for really no other reasons, I think. Okay, so we have another memory. And again, we need to do specific stuff in order to trigger the end of that memory. So we will just interact with the oven to say that, hey, there's no food in the oven. We go to the doorway to say, hey, there's nothing to do outside. And now we just go to the left to trigger the knock on the door. We interact with the door. And now we interact with we go left to trigger the appearance of the policeman. And now we go back to the door, it opens, and we are almost at the end of that memory. And it's a pretty sad memory, like it's the memory that says, well, it is how and when Price's parents died in a car accident. And I must admit, I cried a bit. But I mean, the song plays a lot on the... Songs play a lot in the way you perceive something, and it wasn't really cool. I am losing time here, but I don't remember if I split before the elephant, or if I split after. And here it is, the main enemy of Distraint 2. And through the very last dialogue of the game, we'll be able to discover who that guy is. Let's go through the dialogue as quickly as possible. And now it's a very, very long dialogue because it's technically the final dialogue of the game, like the dialogue that should explain us everything. So it will take it will take quite some time. And also it explained to us how you can discover that this pretty ugly black guy is trauma, and how can you overcome trauma. And you have everything you need deep within you: reason, love, ambition, forgiveness, loss, even agony and fear, and finally courage. And then you realize that you have everything you need so you can fight trauma. And there it is, the end of trauma. It's a bit of a long dialogue. So now you have your parents, and ta-dan, incredible, you were the lost hope of Price all along. You weren't the real Price, you were hope. And so now we go to the real Price in order to give him hope again. This section is a bit long, mostly because, well, you can pass it, so you can't run through it, so it's just, it goes on, it goes on. The last time I've made a run, I stopped here. I stopped on the shotgun, but the other runs I could see on YouTube mostly split when the entirety of the dialogues I've done. As I said on my first, I've already made a run when I registered myself, but it's anywhere technically. I said that I wanted a huge, important visual or audio indication in order to split. But anyway, I think price disappearing is enough of a visual indication. So we are FT217. Even if it's the very first run, it is technically a world record. It is a better time than the other runs of YouTube. But there we go. I hope you liked that run. I hope that run make you interested in the game. If you are a runner of the first Distraint, you should definitely try the second one because it's worth running. If you don't know what Distraint games are and you're discovering it through that run, you should try these games because they are awesome. They are very, very good games. But you should play them casually, entirely, because they are worth playing. And then, if you are still interested in speedrunning it, you can start it with the first one, which is a bit quicker, and then try that second one because it is worth running as much as the first one. Hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see your runs on Distraint